This man is so tough he can resist gravity like you wouldn't believe. You see him being thrown from a height. And Ah-jin was once a super agent in North Korea. The survival rate for his training was less than 3%. Truly a hellish level of harshness. Surviving made him the best of the best. Naturally, the higher-ups saw him as the ideal candidate for top-secret missions. But near the end of one such mission, Ah-jin privately released a South Korean agent, Ah-soo. The reason was a simple photo, one of a family full of happiness, which reminded him of his own daughter. Unable to bear it, Ah-jin let Ah-soo go. Upon returning, Ah-jin was deemed a traitor by the state and was subjected to various tortures. First, blinding lights targeted at his eyeballs, causing his pupils to contract rapidly, inducing extreme fear. Then he was thrown into water with high-voltage electricity, causing unbearable pain. But none of this killed him. He was finally sent to the execution frame, where before the execution, he saw a photo of his wife and daughter in the newspaper. He realized now was not the time to die. That was the beginning of his escape. After a difficult escape, the first thing Ah-jin did was search for his wife and daughter, only to find their bodies. In deep grief, he swore to avenge them. Ah-jin, through various channels, learned that the one who killed his wife and daughter was his lifelong comrade, Ah-ju. By then, Ah-ju had already fled to the southern seas. To avenge his family, Ah-jin followed to the southern seas, but there found no trace of him. To survive, he started working as a professional chauffeur for a local boss who coincidentally was also from North Korea and took special care of Ah-jin. The boss even retired and used his connections to help Ah-jin find clues about Ah-ju. Just as Ah-jin was preparing to leave, he noticed all the surveillance at the boss's house. Being an agent, he sensed danger around the boss. The boss had already been drugged by a killer and was going to take away the boss's secret glasses. At this moment, Ah-jin sensed danger. Little Kara wanted to fight him, but before the lights were even off for 3 seconds, Little Kara was overpowered and Ah-jin swiftly reclaimed the boss's secret glasses. But still, the boss died. Who would have thought the police would consider him the prime suspect and monitor him everywhere? Yet Ah-jin's heart was only set on avenging his wife and daughter, not getting entangled with the police. With the address given by the boss, he finally found the murderer. This was an unprecedented parachute training drill where soldiers bravely jumped out of the plane. Just as the last one was about to jump, the plane crashed. The parachute was suddenly flung open and the soldier was thrown out, the parachute cords tightening around the instructor's neck, leaving him dangling in the sky thousands of meters high. In this critical moment, if the cords are cut, the soldier falls to his death. If not, the instructor gets strangled. What would you do? At this moment, the instructor calmly and swiftly grabbed the parachute cord, cut it, and quickly secured the parachute pack on his back. Without hesitation, he jumped out of the aircraft, adjusting his posture for a controlled descent. As he plummeted straight down at high speed, the air resistance had reached its maximum. Meanwhile, others around him opened their parachutes. Only the instructor headed directly to the target. He quickly looped the line using his foot, preparing for a rapid descent, just a second before landing. He is Ah-jin's mortal enemy, Ah-ying. Originally, Ah-ying was a high-ranking officer during a mission that tasked him with capturing Ah-jin. Unexpectedly, the mission failed, resulting in the sacrifice of many team members. He himself was captured by Ah-jin, thinking he would surely die. However, Ah-jin let him live because of a family photo. From a high-ranking officer, Ah-ying was demoted to an ordinary person. He secretly vowed to catch Ah-jin, but before long, the opportunity came. Ah-jin fled North Korea to South Korea seeking revenge for his wife and daughter. He finally found the man responsible for their death, only to realize the murderer was an old friend he once served with. Azumi asked Ah-jin if he had anything to say. Ah-jin turned to grab a pen from the side and scribbled a few lines, urging Azumi to check them. At that moment, a flash of golden light made Ah-jin dodge fast. Shots were fired. Team 6 had snipers here. He deftly dodged the bullets, but Azumi took the chance to flee. Ah-jin grabbed his phone and vigorously chased, only to be locked down by Azumu's men. Trained and skilled, Ah-jin easily evaded Azumu's men. Just then, Azumi received a call from the sniper. Unluckily, Ah-jin came face to face with him and they got into a fight. Though older and not as strong, the assassin proved a formidable adversary for Ah-jin. Realizing he couldn't win, he pulled out a toxic needle, attempting to poison Ah-jin, who was now enraged. Later, Ah-jin returned to his residence to treat his injuries. Suddenly, he recalled Azumi holding a letter with his daughter's name on it, implying she was still alive. This sparked a final glimmer of hope in Ah-jin. True or not, he refused to let go of the chance. Meanwhile, Ah-ying's men discovered the killers used internal communication equipment. Investigations revealed numerous suspicions, all pointing to high-ranking officers within the police department. Chief Park 6 desires the secret lens of the society's head. It's Mr. Park who tries to steal the secret hidden within the spectacles but got interrupted by Chen Yaojin and Ah-jin. To uncover the truth, Ah-jin had the lens dissolved, recording the evidence with a friend throughout. The lens contained a set of miniatures. In a chemistry program seemingly harboring the cause of the head's demise, their location was compromised. To retrieve the lens, Mr. Park summoned Azumi. During Ajin's absence, Azumi found the woman and had his subordinates take the program back, leaving evidence behind. Just as the woman was about to be dealt with, Ajin rushed over, confronting the murderer. Meeting with fierce gazes, a fight broke out. Although Azumi was once an ally, he was not a match for Ajin. A brutal battle led to Azumi being severely injured by Ajin. Before dying, Azumi confessed the whole truth. Ajin's wife wasn't killed by him, but accidentally by a colleague during a mission. Azumi shot the colleague to protect Ajin's daughter and fled to the South Pacific with the child living under Park's command. He could only watch as Park sold the child. After hearing, Ajin realized his mistake in blaming Azumi. Tears overflowed as grief struck, but there was no time to mourn as a large crowd had gathered. That man ran wild, firing his gun like a madman, but missing Ajin completely. He ran along the rooftops like he was walking on flat ground, skillfully evading between buildings. After a vigorous chase, Ajin ran to the bridge and jumped into the sea, escaping successfully. On the other side, Old Park was excited to get a chemical formula, but didn't expect the arms dealer to analyze the formula and find out it's not a weapons formula, but a barley gene formula. 6. The company president was in Beijing, thinking of benefiting his people by secretly converting weapons research into barley research. Thus, Old Park got the chemical formula. Old Park was also captured by the arms dealer. As his plan for a car engine failed, Old Park quickly held a press conference to vent his anger. The big black pot made Jin lie down, but he didn't know Jin was already in the crowd. With a left-handed pistol, he fired at the sky, causing chaos, and then dragged Old Park into a building, punching and kicking, demanding the whereabouts of his daughter. But Old Park was as stubborn as a boiled duck, refusing to talk. When Jin lost patience and wanted to strangle him, countless red dots appeared on his chest. By then, the police had surrounded the place. Jin quickly rolled to dodge the shots but couldn't get close to Old Park. Old Park revealed an extremely ugly face, loudly boasting of his supernatural powers and saying in this world, nothing is impossible with money. Seeing the enemy in front yet unable to act against him made Jin grit his teeth in hatred. At this moment, Ian arrived at the scene. I thought he was going to kill Jin, but he handed over his gun to Jin instead. Later, Jin was caught by Ayin, but on their way back, Ayin saw the family photo hanging in the car. This was the photo that once drove Jin to kill. Now, facing a criminal charge, Jin felt deep remorse. Afterwards, Ayin handed a paper with an address for trafficking people to Jin, then said he'd buy cigarettes. When he saw the handcuffs in the car, Ayin, with a slight smile, Jin followed the address to a farm where kids were trafficked. There, he saw a little girl who seemed to sense something, turning to look at Jin. Not a few steps away, she turned around again, and Jin made eye contact with her. Even the hardest man sheds tears at such a moment. Alright, at the end of the story, we can imagine what happened to the criminals. Thank you for your unwavering support. I'm the storyteller Muyu. Thanks for your likes and support. See you next time.